Hey everybody, my name is Splattercat and welcome back. If you just left and you're watching these episodes back to back, be warned, this one could turn out kind of ugly. Here you see an invasion so large, I have never seen an invasion like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the farts. The first action reaction team needs to get their asses into gear, and Simon Diandelli and Tybalt Vernon are going to get their blades wet with the blood of so many foes today. Now they're both equipped with very nice gear, so I think they'll probably be okay. But this is a pretty big invasion, so we may lose them during the course of this fight, but I'm going to swap them to a patrol group. And what we'll do now is we will add a patrol point, maybe, I don't know, over here. There we go. We'll add the farts to there. And let me go down to the bottom floor, make sure that patrol point is no longer there, because if they end up patrolling in between zones right now, it is really, and one more really going to backfire on us. In fact, it's going to get ugly. So hopefully they're not sleeping right now. And so there it is. Let's watch the stack expand. And that is quite the horde of spiders. Now, looks like we got some hatchling action going on. It looks like we got a little bit of just like someone galvanized these spiders, and I don't mean galvanized as in plated them with metals, but I believe that they've decided to show up and cause trouble for some reason, and the game needs to supply context for that kind of combat. And it looks like, is that Tybalt Vernon? Who is this right here? This is Simon Diandelli, so he's out here getting some, taking care of business. Hopefully they actually don't group up on him, because if they decide to fight him one-on-one, this should be a pretty short, close fight, and I don't think they're going to be able to hurt him anyways. With the way the combat system works, we may end up with... oh no. And so it looks like someone has broken through the line, but heroes appear to be going in that direction, so maybe things will turn out okay. It's difficult to tell, but the spiders are making a last-ditch run for our city, and I'm just going to give the play-by. I'm going to be your John Madden. Your John Madden, John Madden, John Madden. If you guys have ever seen that video, I bet you have. But I'm going to be the guy that just kind of narrates all the terrible things that are occurring right now. So they're beating that spider to death with a piece of pie and some cake. If you ever really want to insult your enemy to death, just beat them to death with a piece of cake. It seems like it's too squishy to actually do any damage, but I'm pretty sure you can get some actual carnage done with a piece of cake if you tried. I mean, you can get killed by just about anything if you really think about it. Like, just about anything can be completely and totally lethal, so bearing that in mind, did we defeat that already? Did we kill everyone already? No way. No way. Where are the rest of the monsters? They've got to be around somewhere. There's no way that they wiped out everybody that rapidly. Let's take a look at our... oh my god. So Tybalt Vernon and Simon Diandelli are the manliest man bastards I've ever had the lovely, lovely opportunity to know. God. They got literally hard to kill right there. Like, they were both hard to kill and literally hard to kill. They just ran out there like ridiculous berserkers and just annihilated everything laid before them. And that invasion was not nearly so terrible as I suspected it would be. So I guess gear acted as the great equalizer in that respect, which is fine. I absolutely respect that as an outcome, but to be fair, the townies did rally. They did come together. They came together right now, not necessarily over me, but over violence. They came together about violence. Who ever thought that violence could bring people together? I always thought violence drove people apart, but in that case, totally brought them together. Everybody was like, yeah, let's have a bloodbath. We're bored. We've been stacking bricks for months. Let's get some. And so it worked out great. I got these emails, like there's this clothing club that wants me to join them, like, and what the hell is a clothing club? While we're on the subject, like, what is a clothing club? Like, any group of individuals that wants to like swab the inside of my cheek and check my credit score before they sell me clothes, I'm instantaneously very, very suspicious of. Like, does that seem right to you? Does that seem like that's like, why do you need to know my credit score to sell me like a sweatshirt? It's a $14 sweatshirt, man. It's not even that cool of a... like, if you were selling me a sweatshirt with uranium lasers and all kinds of crazy machine guns and miniguns on the shoulders, which, by the way, I wouldn't turn it down. Let's not do that. Let's go back right there, because that's going to end up with heartache for me. I can tell already. And we've got some kind of... oh, I am so immensely confused right now. We've got some kind of strange MC Escher action going on right here, where it's like one stage up right here, but when it comes around, yep, MC Escher to the max. So anyways, let's place this next line of bricks. It's got to be just the perspective that's throwing me off here. So we'll lay this next little row of bricks, and I guess since we survived, God, I was sitting around at home just like all packed up, like, well, it's the end. Towns, we're all gonna die, all is lost. All, oh, it's right there, okay, I see it. It wasn't a weird MC Escher thing. It was me not seeing things that were right in front of me. As, you know, you guys know, I do that on occasion. Well, frequently. Not only on occasion, but very, very frequently. So let's get this episode underway, because I would very much, very, very, very much like to finish the tavern before we go any further. And so how are you guys doing out there? You guys doing good? You guys doing pretty good? I'm doing pretty good on my end, too. I'm doing pretty well, actually. Let's be grammatically honest here. Let's be grammatically true. Let's step it up a notch. Let's take this thing into the 5th grade and say that I've been doing well. I've been feeling pretty good lately. I've been rolling with the punches, you know. I've got finals week coming up in 2 weeks, so you guys may see a little bit less of me once that occurs. Like, in all honesty, I may disappear for a small grip, a unit of time. I may vanish, and I can't say exactly what that unit of time will be. And what are you guys doing? What in the Townies? They're doing it again. They are doing it again. How very unfortunate. And she looks like she's just gonna sit there and starve to death, maybe? No, she's gonna go back to town. She's gonna go back to town. I know it. And so let's go back real quick. And did I place those all in the wrong layer like a dolt? Let's see here. I don't think that I did. I may have, though. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Let's go through and let's cancel all this out, and I'm going to make sure that I count layers properly for once. And so they're just going to drop bricks everywhere. Townies have this awful habit of just leaving things where they found them when they finish up their jobs. And actually, I don't think I'm on the correct layer here, so let's step it down one. And they should just grab all these blocks that are ready-made. If indeed they are intelligent, they should just grab them and put them where I want them. So how come that edge of the wall worked out, but that one didn't? How very odd. I am so confused right now, but I'm not going to think about it too hard because I don't want to strain myself. I don't want to cause myself an injury, but hopefully they get along with it. And, God, hopefully it turns out okay. Do you guys know that you can't machine wash a bullet vest? If you put your bullet vest in the washing machine, or not the washing machine, I guess you could put it in a washing machine, but if you put your bullet vest in the dryer, for example, or you put them in the washing machine, you will find yourself, I want to know who the first person was that tested this as well. That's another important question that I would ask, is who was the person that found out, like, he washed his bullet vest and then he went to class the next day, or he went to, like, work the next day and he was like, I'm looking good, he's looking all fresh, like all the little buttons and things are all shiny, and then all of a sudden just blast, 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 and he's like, oh no, it didn't work. Like, who was the first guy that happened to? I'm sure they tested it. They probably tested it in a lab somewhere. I'm just being facetious, but in any case, who was the first person that happened to? It's gotta have happened to somebody who didn't know. Like, there's a distinct possibility that it happened to someone who just didn't think about it. And so they are doing the exact opposite of what I would prefer. They're not picking up the X'd out blocks. Instead, they are just making new ones. And so I don't really know what to say to my townies at this point. And I'm not sure what happened there either, but we'll get rid of those. That may be why my perspective was thrown off. It's because, yeah, I actually think that's what happened. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put that right there. We'll come back. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. It's fine. Everything's going to work out. And actually, I need to build the stairs first. That's the first project that I need to set myself to. So let's get the stairs going. Over here and right there. Is that on the right layer? It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Because I'm so good at counting layers. You guys know. I am so good at counting layers. So let's take some stairs now and we'll put them into place. There it is. We'll grab that wooden one right there and we will drop them. Drop them like... drop them like a late semester math class. There we go. I was trying to think of a meta. I was trying to think of some kind of simile to use with dropping, and I didn't want to use hot potato. No. Hot potato is too cliche for me. I'm a hipster when it comes to this kind of thing. I get my big old glasses out and I'm just like, yeah, hipster style. And so I guess we're not going to be able to access these blocks either, so I guess I'll destroy these. So this is all just turning into a giant mess that I don't feel like dealing with. Hopefully, in between episodes, in the last episode, you let me know about the speed. I'm doing these ones back to back because I was really interested to see how that siege would turn out. Pretty well. Pretty well is how it turned out. I don't need to tell you guys that, though. I'm pretty pleased that we still get to play the game. I'm very stoked that we're not dead. It could be worse. We could be dead. So, you should always keep that in mind. It could be worse, you could be dead. Although... there is some philosophical wiggle room right there. Like, if you're dead, if you are indeed dead, I think you've got bigger things to worry about. Like, are you really that worried about anything if you're dead? You can't be. You just can't be. At least I wouldn't be. So you shouldn't be, right? Well, let's not think about it too hard. My brain is starting to hurt. My cells, my little neutrons and my little neurons, there we go. I'm sure there's neutrons in my brain, but the neurons are firing. They're very upset with me right now, so we're just going to keep on moving. And most of it's spurred by the fact that my townies are just refusing to get any type of work done, even at the ×4. Like, you know that you're you're a slow worker. You know that you're a slow worker if you multiply by 4 and you still don't get anything done, so it is what it is. God. I was driving somewhere the other day in my Garmin. I have one of those little Garmins like, turn left on red. And it's just got that ridiculous voice. By the way, if you're bored with your Garmin, you should definitely change the language on it. You should change the language in which it speaks to you, or at least you should change the accent. Like, I always feel like I have classy car drives. I changed my Garmin to have like a UK accent. Like, you can do Irish, you can do like Scottish, you can do British, you can do Australian. Every now and again, like if I'm feeling festive, you can do like a Hispanic accent. You should try it out sometime. You should theme it with where you're driving. So, for example, if you're like driving to a Mexican food place, you give it like a Spanish flavor. You know, give it that nice you give it some zestiness so it actually feels like you've got a guide who's taking you to the ridiculous Americanized Mexican food place. Or, I don't really know, if you're going to get like bangers and mash, I guess. Is that what British people eat? I don't know. You guys eat a lot of fish and chips, right? That's a horrible stereotype. Oh my god. I apologize to all of you. I'm so ignorant. I'm woefully ignorant. No, everybody eats McDonald's. I'm gonna assume that everybody on Earth just eats McDonald's every day because that's what I eat. No, I don't eat McDonald's. That stuff is terrible for you. That stuff will kill you one day. Rest assured. But then again, something has to. I always think about that whenever somebody's like, you need to change your ways. You can't keep eating like this. Or like, you can't keep going forward with X habit. You can't keep smoking. You can't keep this vice. It's going to kill you someday. Everything's gonna kill you someday. So why stress? Okay, so now I can stop talking about just asinine nothingness, and let's take a look at how we want the floor plan to look. So we are going to have to go up a bit more, but not so much right now. Let's focus on filling in this floor because we're not using our tavern right now, and I want to get it at least minimally functional. So let's follow the walls around here just a little bit to maybe right there. There we go. And so we'll place all of these walls, and I do wish that you could just tell them to build it in the order that you want to build it, but unfortunately, you can only build if there are blocks around that can sustain them from the horizontal. You can't use diagonals, unfortunately. So let's get the next layer of walls built, and I'm feeling like this episode might be lackluster. It may be a tad lackluster due to the fact that siege was just awful. I thought that siege was going to be amazing, and it just let me down. In every respect possible, it let me down. While we're on that subject, let's keep placing some more blocks. Keep just painting away with our little block tool, and I'm going to take this over this way. We'll swing that out to there, and I have been neglecting the dungeon a bit, but that's because there's so much busy work to be done just digging that shaft downwards. And did we run out of stone? I hope we didn't run out of stone. Let me check my stone supply just to make sure. We've got 250, so it's a distinct possibility that we may run out of stone during the course of this episode, but that just means we'll have to find something else to work on. We do have some housing down here that hasn't been taken care of. We do have some building that we can do with wood and other basic fineries. I was also going to fill this up with barrels, but I haven't done it yet. In fact, let's go through and make sure all of these should be completely disabled. Okay, good. I almost had a momentary lapse in judgment where I was going to assign all of my barrels with you guys watching, but I decided not to. I wanted to save you from me. It's something I have to do pretty frequently when I do these LPs. It's tough to keep myself focused. The pig has starved. The caravan left town. There was a caravan? Aw, man! I got so caught up with the ridiculous warfare that we had that I missed the fact. I got caught up beating things to death with cakes. And so, not Nicodonia. I was going to use Nicodonia, and if you guys don't know what Nicodonia is, like Nicodonia is that feeling you get, or Nicodonia. I don't really know how to pronounce that word because I'm ignorant, but Nicodonia or Nicodonia is what you feel when you're about to win, like that feeling of just like, that upwelling that you get in the pit of your stomach where you're like, yeah, like right before you trash talk. That's Nicodonia, and I was filled with Nicodonia while we were winning that battle, and it completely slipped my mind that we might have any caravans or anything else sneaking up on us. Now, let's furnish some of these homes down here because these have just been sitting around forever without being furnished. God, we have a lot of fish lying around. That can't be sanitary. That has got to be just a giant invitation for salmonella. I always say the L. Some people say salmonella. Some people say salmonella. I just say sickness. I keep it simple. So let's grab some of our supplies here, and let's go with furniture, because every house needs some furniture. I lived in a room for a little while. I'm not gonna lie, when I was broke as a joke, I lived in a room that was basically just a bed on the floor for a while. And it's pretty depressing. It's pretty depressing. So we don't want our townies to be depressed. Suicide rates are already ridiculous. At least that's what we're calling them. We're gonna call them suicide rates. I don't think they actually are suicide rates. It's more like poor planning on my behalf getting people killed. But this one's gonna face this way, so we'll keep the door right there. We'll put him in a couple of book cabinets, get him some cool stuff. We'll give him a candle so he can read, because our townies are really ignorant. Like, I asked a townie the other day to calculate something for me, and he was like 1 + 1 = 11 what? Like, he had no clue what to do. So let's give him some light so that they can start reading. And so I believe that's under decorative indoor. There we go. And we'll put one right there, and one right there, and one right there, maintaining the rhythm of the candle placement. We'll do it with everybody. Everybody can get 4 candles, because everybody deserves at least a little bit of enlightenment. Everybody deserves it. And so with this one, we're going to be a little bit more stylistic. This one's going to be right there. Awesome. Amazing. I love the way it looks. Love it, love it, love it. So we'll save. And so hopefully I hear the sound of trees being merrily chopped. I like to think that they chop merrily. Like, I like to think that my townies have a merry tune, like they're whistling some ridiculous thing. That's actually, have you ever gone to a restaurant? Well, let me preface this. So I used to go to a Chinese restaurant here in my hometown because the owner could whistle very well. Their food wasn't that good. There was nothing on their menu that was entirely amazing or delicious, but I liked listening to the cook whistle, and that's all he did, is he just sat in the back and he whistled like these merry Chinese sounding tunes, and they were amazing. They were incredible, and because of that, they got my business. So never underestimate the X factor. Everybody's got an X factor. Everybody's able, you may not be very good at cooking pot stickers or chow mein, but if you're good at whistling, I guess I might give you a pass, but that might be due to the fact that I'm like a professional quality whistler. You guys didn't know that. That's a little fact about the Splattercat. I am a professional whistler. It's true. I have whistled professionally. I've whistled on tape. It's happened. When I was growing up as a kid, I used to work with my dad all the time because he was a roofer. And so I used to go to work with my dad, and when you're working construction, it takes about 25 minutes before you are just bored out of your skull of like hammering and driving one sharp object through another, and also avoiding stapling yourself to the roof, which does happen. It happens very frequently. In fact, one thing I've noticed through roofing is if you take like a big marker and you write on the roof, "Do not step right here," I think it actually amplifies the speed at which someone will step right there and fall through the roof. I'm pretty sure it does, but while we're placing this, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, whistling. How I learned to whistle professionally. I learned it from my family. Learned it from my dad, who is also a well-accomplished whistler. And so I think that's what attracted me to that Chinese place altogether, is just spending years and years and years whistling on a roof in the hot, hot sun, waiting for the day to end. And so let's place the next layer of our floor here. And I think I'm going to leave room for, let me see what I've got here. What bricks that I can use. I think this stone bricks right here is probably going to work best for what I want to do. I do want to have like an inlay right here, or a nice motif floor, a floor that has some kind of design embedded within it. And I'm liking the way that this is coming across, guys. I'm really liking the fact that we're actually getting the tavern done finally. And so I think what I'll do to celebrate the instance is we will go down here and we will spread this area. Oh, I need this right here. Zones. There we go. And so let's go with tavern, and we're going to place our tavern floor, and I'm on the wrong layer, aren't I? I am, aren't I? There we go. Okay, so we'll place you, and now we've got to do the short and lonely business of spreading this out to where it needs to be. So we will expand the tavern. There we, well, not quite. So we'll expand it to there. And then we'll do one more expansion right here. We're going to expand like EverQuest. If you guys have ever played EverQuest, you know they put out an expansion like every other day. And so that joke may or may not be funny. I don't know. Guys, I just don't know sometimes. Sometimes I sit down and I'm like, I should not say this joke at all. There's no reason for these words to come out of my lips, and then they do anyways. Gets me into trouble all the time. All the time. And there's the first layer of our tavern. Now, I haven't decided decoratively what I want to do with the rest of it, but I assume that it will turn out okay. Everything will be just fine. And let's take a look at everybody working here, make sure everything's going according to plan. In between episodes here, I'm probably going to try and rebuild my population, because we have found ourselves very depleted of lives. We need warm and fresh bodies, not necessarily just warm bodies, but warm, fresh, and preferably bathed bodies to continue building. Although I guess, is there any point bathing if you're just going to be hauling bricks around? You probably just get smelly again anyway, so maybe they don't need to be bathed. Maybe I will take back that stipulation. Maybe I will keep it to myself, but for the purposes, bathing doesn't hurt. I mean, you'll notice that not a single townie has a bathtub in their house. Can I build those, by the way? Let's see if we can build bathtubs. See, I don't even think we have the option to build a bathtub, so unfortunately, they don't even have the ability. I guess they could swim in the aqueduct right here, but that's not much water. It'll probably get pretty nappy pretty quickly. Oh god, the iron is invading, so we have a lot of iron, so... Oh, we also have a decent amount of coal. I'm thinking I may start building tons of iron gear then, or at least when we get hey, we have another caravan. Good. So he just wants to buy stuff made of wood. Unfortunately, he is a literal wood merchant, and not the kind that you find in Las Vegas. Now, does he have anything that I want? I don't see anything that I'm going to be infatuated with. I don't see anything that I really want, so I'll just give him all of my stuff and then tell him to go away and send back a merchant who isn't worthless to me. So there we are. Good. Alright, so that's taken care of. And do we have a siege as well? Because I'm paused. Maybe I paused the game. It's a possibility that I had a reflex of the thumb, which happens. It's a gamer thing. Sometimes you have that twitch reaction to a situation and it's all you can do to just maintain. And that done, everything looks nice, so they're building over in this region as well. Okay, that's going to work in our favor. We're almost out of stone, so I think once we run out of stone, I'll call the episode to a close. And once we're out of stone, I'll try and get a little bit more population done, because I am noticing a slowdown in our work queue. I am feeling like I don't have enough people to move stone around and get things done, so I feel like that's probably something that I should get taken care of in between episodes. And so that's there. That's there. Good. Let's have a look. Let's have a look-see at the work that's going to go into getting this completed. So it looks like I've started this lower floor here to a certain extent, but I am going to have to iron this out or chisel this out, whichever you would prefer. And I've got a wonton scaffold there. I've just got an errant scaffold running around, an extra ancillary scaffold that nobody cares about. Let me pan through and make sure. What is this lighter one? Is that okay, we have hobgoblinite. So we got some green pants over here as well. If you didn't know, the game does generate random gear just like Diablo or any other hack and slash game does. Got a spiderite plate down there. There's a lot of gear down here, but I'm always nervous about spending anyone down here to grab. This guy's just sleeping in the dungeon. He doesn't care. What a manly man. It's pitch black down here just sleeping in the dungeon because I can. Because I have a ridiculous handlebar mustache. I've got a handlebar mustache of super size me proportions. The guy that did that documentary, that guy's mustache it is impressive. That is an impressive mustache. And I don't know why this boat, there's got to be a more efficient, like, pull it with, you know, the wind cannot always be going in the right direction for this. It's not even a caravel. If it was a caravel sail, I would be slightly convinced, but even then there would still be a direction you couldn't turn every day, which for overland travel, being unable to turn in a certain direction for long periods of time would be kind of a downer for the whole situation. How much stone do we have? 100 left. 100 left. Let's use it. So let's line that up right there. We will also go through and put that one right there because I missed a spot. I was not as thorough as I should have been. And so let's lay these blocks down real fast by the fire. And we'll grab that. And let's take it downwards to there and take it over to there. Good. And it's turning out well. So, with all of these blocks placed, I don't think we're going to be able to get enough work done in this episode to finish the tavern, so I'm going to call it to a close. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the next episode of our Towns LP. I'm so glad to have you here with me. It's always way more fun to play these games with you guys watching and giving me your comments. I love interfacing with you guys. I love talking about all the stuff you put down in the comments. And so that being said, comment away. I look forward to it, and I will see you guys next time. Take care out there, everybody.